fresh to death, I'm Paul Berry, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, then find to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets. What is going on, everybody? You already know it is your boy Scotty, man, back with another one, man. Hope you Bamas are doing lovely out there in them streets. Hey, you know, D, you know how I do when I do it, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I see Miak Mike in the building, see AJ Niles in the building, Lawrence, appreciate all my members up in here, OH up in here, I Watcher, Lawrence, HBCU Band Talk, man. Always appreciate you. Mr. Kincaid's in here, George Witcher, the third up in here. Man, I appreciate all you guys for locking in with me tonight. Listen, man, we're going to have a good time, man. We're going to talk a little sports. We're going to talk a little stuff. Showtime Mari, shout out to you, Casey. Wine. You know how you do wine, baby. We in there. Shout out to all you Bama's out there, man. Spring ball is here. Football's around the corner. I know, you know, y'all doing your little March. We all doing our little March Madness stuff. I ain't doing no bracket this year, and I'm kind of glad because none of my stuff. But shout out to them Terps, though. You know, hey, I'm sorry, listen. I know this isn't. I gotta find me a Maryland song for my Terps. What represents Maryland? I'm trying to think. What's a Maryland rapper? Let me see. Let me see. I gotta give me. I gotta get something that represents Maryland. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got. I need something that's a Marylander. Like, because I don't want to do anything. Check Gucci, club music. No, club's not a Maryland thing. The Wire intro is not a. Y'all know, yeah, man. Y'all ain't no help, man. It's not Be More, okay? We're Maryland. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. What's a good? It's a good Maryland. Yeah, I like that Nike boots. Yes, sir.
I'm just doing what
Shout out to Maryland.
Slide and the rest of them still got my Nike boots. Slide and the rest of them slide and the rest of slide and the rest of them still got my Nike boots. Slide and the rest of them slide and the rest of slide and the rest of them still got my Nike boots. Still got my Nike boots.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
The revolution will proceed. Unification, the DMV I will achieve indeed.
Come on, man. If you from Maryland, you already know what it is, baby. Shout out to them Terps, men and women. We both in the Sweet 16, baby. Shout out to the Maryland. We up one. The disrespect. The disrespect. Listen, man. Y'all don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We good. We good. Don't do that. But I gotta check with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that though. Shout out to Maryland. We up. We up. All right, let's get into it. Got to pay a little bills first. Listen, shout out to the Tubman Museum Golf Tournament. Listen, Monday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, Crystal Lake Golf and Country Club. Man, listen, if you are a golfer, an avid golfer, amateur golfer, it does not matter, man. Everybody is welcome. Foursomes, if that's what you're into. All right. $500, individual $150. You can register at tubmangolf.org. That is www.tubmangolf.org. All right. That is tubmangolf.org. You can make sure you are in attendance. All right. Hold on, guys. Sorry, guys. Got to send this off. All right. Make sure you are locked in. Listen, if you're in the Georgia area, as well as the Alabama, Florida, come on up. Come on up. Now, listen, y'all know I got a new segment, so I got to start the show the right way. You know what we on. Vick still on that shit. Vick still on that shit, but this time. But now he's in his element. Okay? But now he is in his element. Okay? He's in his element. He's in his element now. That spring ball football season is in there. It's in the air. I can feel it in the air. You know, he's in that Benny Siegel. It's in his blood now. All right? They dropped some. Hey, listen, gotta keep it. Hey, they dropped some hot video today. They dropped a hot video today. Gotta play it for you. This is what I'm saying.
Look, just stay down. Just stay tight. Then break your side. Just keep it tight. You ain't gotta raise up. You know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? On to the next play. Very important to play the next play. Gotta move on, go to the next play. Come off, shoot that corner sit. You gotta bang that end right there. So I'm gonna teach you and try to anticipate it. I'm giving you that throwing out foot. Take a stride. They got to take strides. You know, obviously the defense got a little momentum, but the offense still in the learning phase. We'll see. driving.
Right there.
Correct what you got to correct, and then come out on Thursday and let's be a little bit sharp. But I thought the day was good, man. The energy was there, like I said, and we got to just continue to bring that. You know, to stack good practice performances right now. You know, we take it one day at a time. All right, get a break. Get out of here.
I love it. 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 Ah! This is what we've been waiting for. Anybody remember that? What was that movie? Scream. You know, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And then the dude jumps off he's like, what am I waiting for? And then he jumps off the building, right? Like, this is what we've been waiting for. Thank you, Norfolk State. Thank you, GM. Thank you, Michael Vick. Now, was that so hard? That wasn't so hard. I didn't even know Vick had a matching suit. Had a matching top and bottom, black hat, black jacket. I ain't know. But it was good to see. And this is what them exposure coins are. That's what we're talking about when we talk about exposure coins, baby. Need more of this. Get him walking to the field. You know what I'm saying? Get him preparing for the spring ball practice, right? Get him in the meeting with the coaches. You know what I'm saying? Get all of that. I need it all. What do you pull up? What do you roll up in? People want to know what Vick driving nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I bet you $10 he don't show up. Now, I know y'all about to say, damn, Scott, you can't let that man live. Listen. All I'm going to say is this. I bet y'all $1 right here, right now, that he don't roll up to the stadium with Norfolk gear. I bet you $1 right here, right now, that he don't roll up to the facility with Norfolk State gear on. He probably come in with some regular stuff, and then he get changed in the. I'm nitpicking. I can say that. I'm nitpicking. But listen, when I saw this video, all I could think about was Bad Boys, right?
Now that's how you supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive.
That's how I feel. This is how it's supposed to be done. From now on, this is how it's supposed to be done. One more time, Will.
Now that's how you supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive.
That's how I feel. That's how you supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive. This is what we've been asking for. When we talking about what Vick doing, what Vick about, where Vick at, where all that. You feel me? This is what we've been waiting for. So shout out to the GM, shout out to Vick. Just shout out for them for putting out something. Okay, just something, right? Like, do we care about what North Carolina A&T is doing in the spring? No, because they're bound to win 2 games. Nobody cares what Gibbs is doing if he shines his head before practice, shines his head after practice. Nobody gives a damn. Okay, we know they're gonna be ass. That's 2 different things. They paid $375 to be ass, right? Norfolk did not pay $400,000 to be ass. Okay, that's not what this is about. They didn't pay $400,000 to be ass. They want to see some. They want to see some return on investment. You feel me? NCAT paid $375 to be ass. That's different. Different philosophies. All right. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it is. Right? You know. Just is what it is. But again, I'm happy. I'm happy for the Norfolk State fans and alums. I'm happy for me because I finally get to see Michael Vick do some football stuff and actually be a coach. You know what I'm saying? They finally put out something of some type of quality video. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy right now, man. I really am. I'm really ecstatic about it. Listen, I want Vick to do well. Listen, I've never said I want Vick to lose. Never said that. Never come out my mouth. I want Vick to do well. I just understand that on both aspects, he has to do it on both sides. This is not, listen, HBCUs are not your regular schmegular jobs. Their profiles are not just, they don't shine bright. A lot of these schools' profiles don't just shine by themselves. They need some battery in it. They need an extra juice behind it. And Vick hasn't been doing that. And that is disappointing to me. And he doesn't have to do a lot to do that, right? All he had to do was be Michael Vick and put the damn shirt on. Put a Norfolk shirt on. Put a hat on. That's it. I don't need him to walk around and every time somebody say, how you doing, Vick? Norfolk State. I'm Norfolk good. You Norfolk good, I'm Norfolk good, right? Like I'm not none of that. Right? It's none of that. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is with HBCUs, they need the battery pack to go. They need the battery pack to go. And that's all I'm asking Vick to do is be the AA batteries to Norfolk to get them to go. So again, when you're out and about, when you're doing these interviews, when you're going to these celebrity functions, when you're going to these celebrity events, if they're not asking you to dress up, rock your Norfolk State gear, put on, be a walking billboard for the institution that is paying you $400,000. That's all I'm asking, right? That's all I'm asking. So again, I never have wished listen, how I feel about Prime losing at Colorado, I've never put that on Vick. Never. Nobody can find a video of me saying I want Vick to lose. That's not, I've never said that. I want Deshaun and Vick to do very well. You know why? Because when they come together, that is Voltron. That is, if D-Jack is doing good, right, in Delaware State, and Michael Vick is doing well at Norfolk State, when those powers combine, I am Captain freaking Planet. That's what you want. So I want the worlds to collide. I want that Voltron and you are the biggest game of the freaking year, right? I want that. That's what I want. The HBCU, alums, like the Coach of the world, coach. Now, coach. Now, come on, coach. Now, I'm not saying that. Come on now, coach. Like, he don't want that. I want it. I want that. That's just me. All right. That's just me. So that's just my 2 cents. So don't ever say that I want Vick to lose. I don't. No, I'm not on that. That's Prime in Colorado. I want them to lose, right? Not Vick and not Deshaun. I'm rooting for them. All I asked was I want Vick to do some more promotion for the institution. That's all. Y'all make me seem like I'm the bad guy because that's what I'm asking for. Like that's not a lot. I'm not asking for a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for a lot. Did I not download my slides? I'm sorry, guys. I got to go download my slides real quick. All right. Y'all bear with me. I be doing stuff last minute, man. Y'all should know. Y'all should be watching me long enough to know, like, damn, Scotty, are you ever prepared? I usually am, though. I'm usually prepared. You going? Where am I going? I'll be at Dusty. Am I going? You know what? I want to go. Now I don't know if I'm gonna be. Man. It's funny where I'm allowed to go and where I'm not allowed to go. If that game's at Norfolk, from what I've heard, a lot of Norfolk administration do not particularly find me appeasing. Now, I wouldn't know why that is. I wouldn't know why that is. All I do is tell the truth and shame the devil. But, to each his own, right? So some people like me, some people don't. I couldn't tell you why people don't like me. In my personal opinion, that's just me. So here we go. Now, if you heard word on the street, ain't it really word on the street? This is really hot topic. And I was about to say it's about damn time, but I feel like I've been doing too much cussing, so I just said about time. Otis Hugh, that just sounds old. Otis Hughley Jr. has retired, right? In other words, his ass was grass and he left. He was god awful. Okay. A&M fans ain't gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that because they be like, oh, my school. You know how they be like, girls be like, my man. Them A&M fans, my school. And then I'm just like, that Bama was ass. All right. So he stepped down. He's done. Thank God. Right now, you know what time it is now. You know what time it is. It's Bryant time. It's AD Bryant time. Okay? It is AD Bryant time. Now he about to get to work. Now you already know that's my guy. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, coach, listen, this This is firsthand, you know, him to me, to you, right? I said, hey, coach, what it looking like? He said, Scotty, quick, focus, search. He said, it's going to be fast and focused, right? So A&M fans, you do not have to worry about no long, drawn out coaching hire. He said, no longer than a week and a half, 7 to 10 days. He said he's going to have a coach. All right. So just giving you a heads up on that. So that's just from him to y'all, right? Fast and focused. He understands it's recruiting season. The portal's open. He has to get a guy in here to take over this program and take it to new heights. Especially, listen, your men's basketball, let's keep it a buck. In that stadium, in that arena, right? He said, hey, I wouldn't even be mad at you, Henry. I ain't even gonna hold you. I wouldn't even be mad at you. Give Don both checks, okay? Give Don both checks. So I ain't even mad at you on that one. With that arena, you definitely want your men's basketball to be jumping. Now, women's basketball with Don, like I told you before, which was an absolute great hire. That I said it was, right? Absolute great hire. The men's side, I'm not a men's guy, right? I'm not a men's guy. I wouldn't be mad at the FAMU coach. If he could scoop the FAMU coach, I wouldn't be mad at that, right? Bring him over there. A&M cares about basketball a lot more than FAMU does. It's a great environment. It's a great facility. He's a great recruiter, right? Wouldn't be mad at that at all. I wouldn't be mad if you went and got that NAIA coach that was, I think he was a runner-up in the championship last season, the white man. Wouldn't be mad at that. But I know he probably has some guys that are already kind of in his mind for a short list. That's just how AD Bryant rolls. You know, AD Bryant, he's always on top of his stuff. So we'll see how it works. We'll see how it goes. But just thank God, okay? Just thank God he's gone. Oh, perfect timing, Nick. Hey, listen. An era ended. Now listen. I don't care who you are. First of all, let me say this. Shout out to Frida Freeman Jackson. Listen, the only reason I didn't put Jackson at the end, I know it's hyphen Jackson. That shit's just way too long. And I didn't feel like putting that whole name up there. It would have messed up the whole aesthetic of my slide, right? I like aesthetics. So Frida Freeman hyphen Jackson. All right. Shout out to Coach Frida and her amazing career of 27 years. Was an Alabama State assistant coach, moved over to head coach at 98 and has been doing her thing for 27 years. Now that I've said that and gave her roses, that is too goddamn long. Okay? That is too goddamn long. Like, she is not Gina Auriemma. She is not Pat Summitt. She is not Dawn Staley. She ain't none of those. That was too long. That was too gosh darn long. I don't care. Do not care. I don't care. I do not care. It's too long. Right? Like, it's too long. Tamika Reed had a run in 6 years that is just unmatched and unparalleled. This is too long. I'm just letting you know, just too long, right? But again, amazing career. I think Alabama State could have did a better goodbye video, a better thank you video. That shit was quick and ass. It really. I loved the initial when she first got the job. And they got like the old school video style, because that's what it was shot on, right? She got the Alabama State hat on, and it's like it's straight 90s, right? Straight 90s. But I think they could have shown more clips in between before they said thank you. That shit was quick and ass, okay? So hopefully they do something a little bit better and give her a really, really good send-off video, maybe from former players, saying some things about it. Can you show the video? Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's on Twitter. Let me see. I think that's where I saw that. Oh, man, I ain't got time about it. Let me see. I'm gonna see if it's on Instagram. Yeah, here we go. I found it.
Dr. Williams, the selection committee, and the entire Alabama State University family.
For 27 years, you have given your heart and soul to this team, turning players into champions, teammates into family.
Okay, let me pause this. All right, let me be. I'm sorry. Okay, the Twitter version wasn't this long, so I might need to apologize to Alabama State. The Twitter version wasn't this long. It really wasn't, but I'm go.
Challenges into triumphs. Your passion, your wisdom, and your belief in every athlete have left an impact that will last a lifetime. You didn't just coach the game. You taught life lessons. You showed us the power of perseverance, the value of teamwork, and the importance of always giving our best effort. Your players will always remember the victories, but more importantly, they will remember the moments, the pep talks, and the tough love. Thank you, Coach, for the years of dedication, unforgettable moments, the impact that you made. Enjoy your earned retirement. You've more than earned it.
Nah, I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Yeah, nah, I'm not a fan. Okay, so this is the part where you guys are gonna hate Scotty. That was an AI generated voice. That shit was ass. That had no feeling or emotion. There wasn't enough actual clips of of video clips of them playing basketball, right? Like big time shots, big time wins, big time celebrations. Wasn't enough of that in there. I love the old school videos, absolutely amazing, but that was half-ass. The AI video, you could have had a former player do the voiceover. You could have had multiple players do the voiceover. You know what I'm saying, to kind of tell the story from the beginning to the end and things like that. But overall, I like the premise. It's a half-ass effort. When you got an AI generated voice, that is a half-ass effort. So nice try, Alabama State. If I was Frida, if I was Frida for 27 years, that's what y'all give me. Yeah, I'm pissed. Okay, I'm pissed. That's just me personally. I'm pissed. But she doesn't got enough checks to last her a lifetime. But again, you've been there 27 years and you're a 3-time SWAC champion. That is unacceptable. Can I say that again? I'm gonna say that again. You were there for 27 years, and you are a 3-time SWAC champion. Don't give a damn. That is unacceptable. All right. So I got some names here. Shout out to the alum who texted me. Says alums are pushing for Adria Harris. Of course, she's a Bama State alum. Oh. Current head coach at Bishop State Community College. Some of us want an open search. Listen, man, I'm so sick of this. Listen, and it kind of goes back to my next slide, right? This is Jason Campbell's time to shine, right? He really hasn't made a splash hire, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I don't know if he hired Eddie Robinson. Okay. So he technically did not want Eddie. I'm telling you what I remember about that time, right? Matlock was a great hire. I give Jason Cable that. And the softball coach was a damn good hire too. That he stole him from FAMU. So those two, I give him that. Now, the Eddie Robinson Jr., if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, it wasn't his choice. That wasn't his suggestion. The president overruled him, Omega Psi Phi, that it was all that. All right. So, and that's what ended up happening. And Eddie Robinson got the job from what I remember that whole scenario was, right? That it wasn't really Jason's guy. He didn't really want him, but the president overruled him because the president is his frat, same chapter. I think he's his pledgee or pledger, or plunger. I don't give a damn what that shit's called, but I think like they did something together. No Diddy, right? So all of that, that's how Eddie Robinson, and plus he's a Bama State alum. For me, and from what this, let me go look up this person. He this guy sent me, Adria Harris. Adria Harris, let me see. Okay, Adria Harris graduated, blah blah blah. Was named the head woman coming to Bishop State. So she's at Bishop State right now. She's been there since 2021. Let's look at her schedule since 2021. Let's check out some of these recommendations, because you know how HBCU alums try to do. They try to sneak it in. They try to sneak people in on the low. All right. 2021. Is this 2021? Okay, she went 18 and 12. That's not bad. What level is this on? Is this like a community college? Oh, this is probably like a JUCO. Yeah, this community college. So she went. Let me see. Okay, it's not bad. All right. She went to the quarterfinals. She went all the way to the semifinals. Okay, that's not bad. First year there. Let's see what the second year looked like. Second year, 16 and 12, 13 and 6 in conference. It's not too bad. Let's see how far she went in the tournament. Went to I think she lost in the first round of the quarterfinals, so she probably got a bye and lost in the first round. That's not good. Let's see, next year, 19 and 11. Not bad. 9 and 5 in conference. Let's see what she did in the tournament. Lost in the second round by 3. Okay. And then this year, let's see what she's got going on right now. She is currently not doing so well. 14 and 17, 8 and 7 in conference. She is getting mollywopped out here in these streets. And then let me see. And lost in the first round. I don't know if that's a slam dunk hire for me. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think it's a bad hire. I don't think it's a bad hire. It's a JUCO. Thanks, Blue. It's a JUCO in Mobile. All right. So I think you can find better, though. I think you can find better. I think if you open this up and really give it a look and really see, this is the thing. When you're so hyper focused on one person and one thing, you eliminate your other options. And I hope AD Cable is as a smarter man than that to just be like, this is who we. No. Now let's open the search up and let's go find somebody that is really changing the game and could really take our program to the next level. That's the whole. Just because you alum don't mean you good. Can I keep saying that? The woman was there for 27 years and won 3 SWAC championships. I don't care what Alabama State people feel. That's not good. That's not good. Let me help you understand. I do not care how many times you want. That's not good. You're there for 27 years. If you should at least have 10 championships. At least have 10 championships. You know what I'm saying? They should look at Hoover's coach. Give me the whole school name. I'll look it up right now. All right, give me the whole school name. Miles, women's basketball coach, is interested. He personally told me he's applying. Shout out to them. Johnny Harris, former Auburn head coach and Pine Bluff grad, has a lot of connections. They beat LSU last year. See, yeah, I mean, like, open this search up, man. There's no way that her resume should get her an automatic bid to Hoover. Oh, Hoover High School? Oh no, let me see. Hoover. Yeah, give me the full school name so I can check it out. Right, but yeah, like, I'm sorry, like, you guys, you might not like me or whatever, but that's not you. Come on, man. Y'all paid this woman for 27 years. Miles, women basketball coach. Let me go check that out. Let me see. Miles College. Women's basketball. Pete Osmond. Let me check this out real quick. Pete Osmond. Here we go. This is who we're looking at right now. Pete Osmond. Okay. Let's see. Oh, well, they don't definitely have they definitely do not have a time where he got there. Whoa! Okay. That Bama is kicking ass and taking names. 22-7. Let me see. He lost. Oh, wow. He lost to the #1 team. Dang. And when I say he lost too. All right, let's see what he did last year. I don't know how long he's been here. 23-7. Not bad. Let's see some wins in here. Not bad at all. Lost a couple to Tuskegee, Allen, SECI tournament, won the tournament, and lost to Valdosta, the #1. So he's won the tournament twice, 2 years in a row. All right, let's see. 21-8. Did he win the tournament again? He lost in the championship game last year. I'm gonna just go 4 years back. 19-8. And lost in the tournament as well. I mean, it's better than the other girl. All right, definitely better than the other girl. Everybody ain't Tamika Reed, but that means everybody shouldn't get 27 years. All right, Hoover High School in Birmingham. Let me see, Hoover. All right, this is my last search because I ain't Jason Cable and I ain't getting paid for this. All right, let me see. Hoover, is this men's or women's? Hoover's High School. Women's basketball. All right, schedule. Oh, this ain't the right Hoover. Hoover, Alabama. Schedule. Woo! They are whooping ass and taking names. 32-4. Yikes. All right. Let me see. Winter 2023. 28-7. 35-1. Jesus Christ. Whooping ass and taking names. Woo! Who's the coach? Roster. Let's see, photos. Coach history. Don. No. Who's the coach? Right? Crystal Johnson. Let's see. Images. All. Crystal Johnson, Hoover's son. She been there since 2005. Oh, wow. Yeah, she legit 6 straight state. Wow. Okay. Yeah, she doing it. She doing it. National Coach of the Year. Okay, y'all got some good choices out here, man. Program to it. See, you see what I'm saying? Look, let me just read this to you. This ain't what Frida was doing. Crystal Johnson guided Hoover's girls basketball program to its 9th state championship, including 5 in the past 7 years. That is somebody you pay for 27 years, not somebody who wins 1 championship every 9 freaking years. That is not how you do that. Johnson has a career record of 33, 21, and 57. in 11 seasons. You see how that works? You see how that works? See, you guys get mad. See, what I've realized in this world, what I've realized in the HBCU, people get mad at me. Okay? People get mad at me because I'll tell you the truth. People want to pacify you. What did Kendrick say? Let's listen to that real quick. I'm sorry. You make music that electrify him. No, I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify him, right? Like, I say stuff that is going to electrify. A lot of other people say stuff that's going to pacify you. Like, they'll be like, oh, man, we're just so grateful to have had Frida for 27 years. And for what? Y'all were paying her for 27 years to do what? Win one championship every 9 years? I could do that. I mean, damn, give me a job for 27 years, paying me over 6 figures. I take it. Guaranteed check in the mail. But nah, everybody want to be like, Scotty, why you being so mean? Why you being so? I'm just saying that's the truth, bro. That's the shit that HBCUs do. And colleges that don't care about athletics. Y'all just keep people in place so you don't have because you're too lazy to hire somebody else. Or you're too weak, or you don't got no backbone to fire their ass and be like, hey, you're not doing very well here. You gotta go. But let's move on, because that's AD Cable's job and that ain't my job. Now, I saw this article on Fox News. Listen, I don't know much. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know much about Charlotte and CIAA and all that type of stuff. I don't know much, right? But what I do know is Maryland ain't letting that go. Maryland, listen, Maryland is treating the CIAA like a Tyler Perry movie, okay? You know what I'm saying? You know how the Tyler Perry movies go, right? You know what I'm saying? The dude, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Christina's not here. Like that's how Charlotte did. That's how Charlotte did CIAA, right? And then here comes Maryland, Baltimore to be specific, right? They come in like the light-skinned dude with the cornrows in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and they come to your rescue. That is what Baltimore, Maryland is to the CIAA. Okay? Christina's not here. And she took your son. You get what I'm saying? So, listen, they had their chance. They had their shot. Now, I know from a good source that there's some new people in Charlotte that are running the bid and all that, and they're asking for opportunities to give them a chance to get the CIAA back. But baby, they home. Okay, baby, they home. Brandon Scott ain't letting that go. He know he got a good thing in Baltimore. He know he got a good thing in Baltimore. He ain't letting that thing go. You see that Inner Harbor? That Inner Harbor be harboring, okay? They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. So again, all I'm saying is, Charlotte, let it go. Let it go. You had your chance. You had your shot. You dropped the bag. You didn't know the good thing that you had. And now that good thing done gone and moved on and got married. See, you didn't want to commit. So you didn't want to commit to that thing. Baltimore got on one knee and proposed and married that thing. Dusted. Hey, listen. People was calling her old. People was calling her, not fun anymore. People weren't attending. Oh, no, we in there. They coming out in droves. The city of Baltimore is just they have really embraced the whole CIAA tournament and how it's been a part of the culture in Baltimore. It has been absolutely phenomenal. I'm telling you right now, Baltimore is not giving that thing up without a full-fledged fight. And Brandon Scott is the type of mayor that will give you the energy that you're looking for. If you think you taking his good thing, you out your cotton picking mind. So you can say a lot of things, but I would be shocked if the CIAA doubles back to Charlotte. I mean, unless Charlotte just gives an like a crazy amount of money. I'm just talking about like the stupid amount of money. I mean, yeah, but don't listen. Don't sleep on Baltimore now. I mean, you can sleep on them. It is Baltimore, but you know they'll figure it out. Charlotte should focus on making the BCIC great. They lost the National Battle of the Bands to Houston. Also, Charlotte has a lot of fixing to do with Black business and community. That's what happens. That's what happens. It is what it is. Guy, it takes his time to be petty. How am I petty? I'm showing you what Maryland looked like. A lot of you Bama's haven't been to the harbor. The harbor is beautiful. I don't know what you all are talking about being petty, right? And at the end of the day, I'm showing you where it came from. I'm giving credit what credit is due, which a lot of people don't even do that. Okay? So I don't understand what you mean about being petty. Jesus Christ. Man. When I try to give credit, then I'm the bad guy. When I don't give credit, then I'm stealing people's stuff. It's crazy out here in these streets, man.
Oh, goddamn.
I don't know why y'all trying to cause mischief. Man. All right. Last thing before I get up out of here. I'm going to say this. Shout out to my boy Blue. All right. In a major announcement, St. Francis will transition from D1 to Division 3. It is a big loss for the NEC, which will have 7 football members until Chicago State officially launches its football program, which it will be in 2026, I do believe. Now, first of all, let me just say this. All you Alabama State fans and all you HBCU Bamas out there talking about, oh, Alabama State them beat them so bad they made them move to D3. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Oh my God. We beat them in the first floor, and now they're D3. That's how bad we beat them. Dog, you beat them. Anyway, I'm not about to entertain that. Okay. I am really not about to entertain that. But no. Anywho, right? Let me say this. D3 does not do athletic scholarships, if you did not know. Okay? They don't do athletic scholarships. Now, everybody's going to be like, oh, Scotty, we do academic. And that's not the point. That's not the point. We know why you Bama's made that jump. All right? It's tough. It's a tough world, right? And again, you're playing in a pool that you can't swim in. And at some point in time, you're going to have to stop playing like you can swim in it and get into a pool that you really can swim in. You can't be living above your means. And I respect St. Francis to say, listen, I'm not about to pour this money out to athletic scholarships, which is going to hinder my budget or whatever. We'll give the academic scholarships and the other Bamas they can pay or however else they see fit to do what they need to do to process. Because again, there's going to be enough kids that are going to want to play D3 football. They're not going to be the best kids, but there's going to be some type of kids that want to play D3 football, because they wouldn't have a D3 league if there weren't kids playing D3 football. Now, am I saying HBCUs need to drop down to Division 3? Absolutely not. Am I saying some D1 schools need to go to D2? Absolutely. Valley. Hey, big head, you need to go ahead and take your ass down onto the SIAC. UAPB. Hey, big head, you need to go ahead and take your ass down to the SIAC. Alcorn. Need to go ahead and take your ass down to the SIAC. Right? Like, let's not play this game. Let's not play this game and act like people have these fundings and all this money to play this game. Now, I know Alcorn ain't going. I'm just messing with him because I know G would be like, fuck that. You know, all that type of stuff. I get it, right? I'm just playing, G. I'm just playing, right? But what I'm saying is that there are going to be hard decisions made, right? There are going to be hard decisions made about what is best for people's financial states and how they can keep up with the Joneses. Because it is a hard thing to tell your administration, hey, we can't do this anymore. But you got to know your financial, and again, and this is how I feel about the MEAC. It's the same exact way I feel about the MEAC. The premise of what you're doing is to survive. That is the end of the thing, is just to survive, right? And that's why what the MEAC is doing is so mind-boggling to me. Because if your whole premise is that we don't want to bring in PWIs, it's hindering your survival. And I'm going to say this again. The CIAA, the OVC, Big South, whatever you want to call it, Ohio Valley Conference, Big South, those white people understand for our survival, we might have to get a couple HBCUs. That just is what it is. Because at the end of the day, we want our conference to survive. And I'm going to say this. Gardner-Webb could have been a play. Campbell probably could have been a play. So you could have gotten probably at least 2 schools out of North Carolina to come into the MEAC. Right? Like, you didn't need 4 HBCUs or 3 HBCUs. You just needed 2 schools. You really just needed 2 schools, maybe 3, to make it work. But that is a pride, because again, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm going to really stand on this. It doesn't mean that in 10 to 15 years that a Savannah State couldn't move up, that a Virginia State couldn't move up, or Virginia Union, or Clark Atlanta, or Morehouse in about 5 or 10 years. But again, what is there to move up to if you failed? If you don't have a legacy, if your legacy does not continue, what is there to strive for other HBCUs to possibly move up? Because again, as the times come and times change, we don't know what the landscape of college football looks like in 8 to 10 years. You keep thinking that the MEAC will be okay. Unless they change commissioners, it will not. And listen, the show I did yesterday, I got 6 phone calls from alums at the institutions that I was talking about. See, listen, let me tell you something right now. Don't let this man, don't believe this. Don't believe this. Because I got calls from very high administrators and said, Scotty, I'm glad you said what you said, because we are on the fence about leaving. We have been approached by the SOCON. We have been approached by the CIAA. We have been approached by the NEC. Like, this is real. You might want to close your eyes and pretend that it's not happening. It is happening. I was told by some high officials that Sanja has not checked in at any institution over the past year. In the last 2 weeks, she has gone down to NCCU's campus to do a check-in. She hasn't been on campus in years, but she went to NCCU to do a check-in. I'm telling you right now, don't let those HBCU purists lie to you. There are some conversations that are being had that if any one of the three leave, NCCU, South Carolina State, or Howard, it is game over. And all Aggie fans are doing is sitting back looking like the Bama from The Simpsons. Excellent. Okay? Because they're like, hey, we knew this was coming. We were just waiting for the domino. What's it on? What's that thing on Why I Get Married? I've been had this shot. I was just waiting for you to get it. Boom. Okay, like it is serious. It is serious business. And at the end of the day, it starts with leadership, and bad leadership. And I'm gonna listen. Okay, now you're about to get some off script in me, right? You're about to make me go straight off script. Listen, the issue is this: a lot of people that feel that Sandra got the jobs. A lot of people that I spoke with from some MEAC institutions felt Sandra got the job because she was able to keep the MEAC secrets, right? Because what happens is, and KJ, you know, being in the C-level stuff and high executive management, once somebody who comes outside of your entity, your company, comes inside of your entity or your company, they start seeing all the problems, good, bad, or indifferent. They just, oh, y'all do this, y'all do that. Why do you do that? Why? That is why she was promoted from within, because the reason that she was appointed within is so that the Dennis Thurman stuff would not get out of all the dark secrets that he had in that MEAC office and in that MEAC building. All the bodies are going to stay buried. All the bones are going to stay buried. And Sandra's going to keep all the secrets. And everybody's going to be happy because she's a black woman. She's a black woman looking to be in charge. And now from some I'm telling you guys right now, and thank you, Blue, I think Blue said it up here earlier. Let me bring this up. Right? I'm telling you right now, this ain't no 5-year plan. This is a 1 to 2 year plan of schools looking to make their exit. And again, going back to St. Francis, right, is that you got to understand the landscape that you in the game that you're trying to swim in. And they're like, hey, these waters are too deep for us. Ooh, that's a bar. Y'all can read that for yourself. That is a bar right there. That is a bar. Shout out to you, KJ. That's an absolute bar, right? So again, what needs to happen, I need y'all to understand what I'm saying. What needs to happen, and I've heard this from 2 or 3 people, they would like more transparency of the circumstances that are surrounding the MEAC. And what schools have they reached out to? What schools have told them no? What schools are able to make the jump? What schools are even looking into making the jump? Where is this new media contract coming from? Right? There's a lot of moving parts and pieces that are not being taken care of. And what people are feeling is that Sandra is just being Sandra. Like, that's it. Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you managing this? How are you letting this thing get out of hand? How are you getting out of whack? And you're not communicating to anybody of what are the plans going forward. So again, I think there's some schools that need to make that drop down. Valley and UAPB being 2 of them, right? Go to the SIAC, be dominant. Be dominant in SIAC. Be dominant in those leagues. There's nothing wrong with those leagues, right? Because again, it is a money game. It's a money play. And you got to feel comfortable where you're at. You do not want to live above your means to where every dollar counts and every penny. You're like, oh, man, you're penny pitching because you know you're tight on your budget. Right? And then on top of that, there has to be, listen, what I've never understood about HBCU conferences and the presidents is that how can, I'm sorry, guys, y'all got to bear with me because I'm trying to get my words together. How can we all understand the the mission of HBCUs and why they were made and what they were built for and what they were here to do for our people. And the only way that we got as far as we got, the only way that we've gotten this far in our society is being a beacon for each other, a melting pot, a force of nature with each other. The Million Man March, the Civil Rights Protest, right? The coming together of our people have pushed us further along in society than ever before. And now you're talking about the mainstays in the Black community cannot get on the same page to do things together that benefits all HBCUs, or in your divisional aspect, like benefits you in the divisional aspect of like, hey, these white people are trying to they're trying to price us out the game. We need to come together and figure out not the commissioners. Listen to me when I'm talking. I'm talking in here, okay? Not the commissioners. The 4 commissioners do not need to come together. It is the presidents and the ADs. Why, Scotty? Because the presidents and the ADs tell the commissioner what to do. The commissioner works for the president, not the other way around. I keep trying to tell y'all balance this, but nobody wants to listen to me. That's how the game works. The commissioner works for the president. So you need the president to be on board, right, to make this thing work. So the presidents have to come together and have the conversation of, listen, how do we not get priced out of this game? And again, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm okay. When I say this, I don't need like individual schools, like, I don't got a money problem. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is most HBCUs are all in the same boat. Underfunded, low resource, and have politic problems within their state. Can we all agree on that? You all might have difference of endowments and everything like that, but you're underfunded. Most of the HBCUs are in political states that do not benefit them, right? Especially in the South. And that should be the call out to be like, hey, we got to do this together. We got to figure this out. We got to plan this thing out, or we won't be around. That, to me, I don't give a damn how many degrees you have. You can't be that dumb. You just can't. You have doctorates and PhDs, and like, are they not looking at the landscape of college athletics to say, hey, we got to figure this out together, guys? Like, you need a Dr. Wilms. You need a Dr. Tucker. You need these influential presidents, right? Like, you need some of these guys that have been in these positions, that have made these moves, right? Like, I think a great one would have been Prairie View's old president, right? Like, you need Howard's president. You need these presidents, at least 4 or 5 of these guys, to get together and really start talking the game to say, hey, we got to come together and we got to figure this thing out as one. Even if we're going to do separate deals, that's cool. But we all should be on the same page of what it looks like for us. Because I look at it like this. If I'm going to use KJ, I'm going to use you as an example, right? If me and KJ cool, but the companies that are negotiated with me and KJ don't know we cool, that ain't our problem, right? Like, I'm like, KJ, what they trying to pay you? They trying to pay me 180. Oh, they trying to give you 180? Shit, I'm about to ask for 185. Shit, you get what I'm saying? Like, the businesses don't need to know we talking to each other, but we need to be talking to each other. What ESPN trying to pay you? Shit, they trying to give me a million. That's it. They try and give us 5. They can at least give you 3. You see what I'm saying? That is what this needs to look like. There's nothing that should be transpiring in the HBCU world that there isn't a relay of information to say, hey, this is what they trying to offer us, what they trying to offer you. Nah, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that. If I was you, I wouldn't take that. Now, I get you ain't got, we got 12 teams over here. Y'all got 8. If they trying to come to you that low, nah, I wouldn't take that. I'll do this. Or, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell them to slide. I'll take $1 million from here and I'll slide it over here. Or, I'll tell them to do, that's what community, that is what community looks like. That is what sticking together looks like. That is what community economics looks like. TJ, coming to you.
So, bro, you preaching tonight, and I keep telling you this. The main thing with our campuses is that the main thing with our conference is that you see that the campuses aren't running well. They're not ran well. You got to get the business right first for your campus. The fundamental part of business. Most of these campuses can't even get a suitable food contract in, a suitable bookstore contract, a suitable athletic facility, or who gonna run the athletic complexes if we build it. And we expecting them to do major big things at on a conference level. Dude, the CIAA conference is running circles around the MEAC and the SWAC. If you want to be truthful about it.
Yeah.
You still got cities begging the MEAC, the CIAA to bring the basketball conference back, or to bring this conference. And in the SAIC, with Hallman being the commissioner, he ain't far behind the CIAA. So you look at the campuses, you see the talent or the lack of talent that's not on some of these campuses. To be honest with you, I've been in the higher ed space for a long time. Most of the talent is not even in the SWAC or the MEAC campuses. Most of it is on the CIAA campuses or the SIAC campus or the HBCU conference campus. Those who have a lot of the talent.
Mm.
And I agree with you. Yes, most of them are in states that doesn't have the most favorable political situations, but we don't put ourselves in the most economic situation to thrive neither when you don't do things in a transparent format. When you're I've been reading the comments, when you constantly have deals tied to your cousin and them, or whoever, or them and them. And I said it how I needed to say it. When you constantly, like you said, you don't have the companies, you don't talk to school A and school B don't go in and collab on the same product that they buy from the same company.
That's what okay. So, like, perfect example, TJ. Like, if let's say you're working with Sodexo, and Sodexo comes to NCCU, and they say, great
example. I ain't gonna cut you off.
Go ahead.
No, great example.
Yeah. So,
great example.
Yeah. So let's say you're working with, let's say NCCU and Sodexo make a deal, right? And Sodexo goes to the next school, and NCCU should be telling South Carolina State, this is what they gave us. Now,
100%.
or you go to another institution. Let's say you have a connection at the University of Tennessee. Hey, what is Sodexo paying you? Right? And it's like, okay, Sodexo is giving us $10 million. All right, I know I'm not as big as Tennessee, but goddamn, I can at least get 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get like,
right.
That's how that's to me, that's how this has to work, right? Or go ahead, TJ.
Perfect example of Sodexo. Sodexo gave Claflin a big check. Don't know. Let's say $300,000 just to say for the conversation. I don't think Sodexo gave another HBCU that amount of money ever. I think that was the largest donation they ever gave to HBCU. Now, with that being said, Sodexo also is on how many other HBCU campuses around the world?
A lot.
Or just college and university?
A lot.
Outside of Perkins Management. That's the other so we don't even demand a lot from Perkins Management when they come on our campuses. Oh, I got the receipts now. You want to look at my LinkedIn? I worked at plenty of HBCUs. So, what I'm saying, no, seriously. So we don't demand a lot from our vendors. We don't. And that's because sometimes we can run a 30-day, a 60-day, or 90-day receivable and not paying them. And so we got to make sure our business is correct with the vendor before we can get anything out on them. And that has to be business done up front. That's the one thing I do agree with Roland Martin, is that when you in those presidents and VPs and all that, you got to look at your contracts on campus, man, and see if it's worth your time. And we don't do that. We don't. Like, all of us pretty much buy the same products, the same uniform, shoes. Well, I mean, when I say products, same type of computers, laptops, tablets, etc.
Yeah.
But getting those HBCUs together to say, hey, let's do a consortium, let's do this. It has been tried, especially on the IT side, it has been tried. And we're still trying to get them to do it together. But I don't know. We won't pull ourselves together for some reason. But it just goes back to my point. If the campuses are not pulling together, the conference is not going to be pulling together.
But again, this is the thing, and
it makes sense.
It does. But I look at it like this though, in the same faction, right? Is because there's no standard, right? Like, okay, let me be very clear, right? And I know people are like, well, Scotty, like a lot of PWIs. Well, it's one of those things where, like, I look at it like your kids, right? There's certain kids that you can, like, if you have multiple kids, you know what kid doesn't need the rules and what kid needs rules. It needs boundaries.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So certain PWIs, they haven't been doing bad business. So it's like, why? I don't need to structure you because you don't do bad business. But when you're when you start dealing with some HBCUs that do bad business, you got to have a standard. Now, I know the commissioner doesn't deal with the day-to-day operations of campuses. I get that. I'm not putting that on Dr. Charles nor Sandra, but I do get what you're saying. Well, if the school isn't ran right, then you got people in places that were formerly at schools that weren't ran right, and then they get into higher leadership. What they going to do? They're going to not run it right. So, but a lot of things, there needs to be a standard. Again, I see it as, and this is how, me personally, I think there needs to be an HBCU committee, a committee. And what I mean by that is an HBCU committee that people can send in their contracts and say, hey, can you overlook this? Before we make a decision, can we go to a third party and send our contracts in and get it overlooked and see if this is right or if this is good? Because then that third party can say, whoa. We just looked over Jackson State's contract, and Jackson State's getting $1.5 million, and they're trying to offer you $700,000. I wouldn't take that. I would try to get you up to $1 million, right? I think there needs to be some type of entity like that is a safe haven for HBCUs and contracts, because you're asking people in academia who have never been in business to do business decisions.
Well, Scotty, I agree with you, and that's a big part of why we have a board of trustees. So that's why you have a finance committee on campus. But one of the things I was going to say, what came to my mind is, Scotty, you got to remember, most of your HBCU college presidents, they're looking for the next big job. It may be a few of them that may say, hey, I want to be here X, Y, and Z. Or they may be on their way out, they may retire or whatever. But you got to think, especially especially some of the SWAC and the MEAC schools, you just got also let's say like about 3 or 4 years ago when some of our PWIs were starting to hire some of our African-American presidents. So they're looking for the next big job, or they're looking for the next big contract. And they're still trying to one-up each other. They're trying to see who could get the biggest check.
Yeah. That's
why the FAMU thing blew up, because of how they, when that guy said, oh, we're going to give them this amount of money, they're constantly looking to one-up each other. So it's always a competition. It's a game within the game. And unfortunately for us, we can't play that kind of game. We're at the point where we have to work together. But they don't know that. And some of our callers won't understand that. But yeah. So that's where we at with it. The business, the bottom line, the business that's been taking place on campus has to get better before the business on the conferences get better. And that's just it.
Man, I appreciate you, TJ.
That's the bottom line. That's the best I could tell you, because most of the contracts that you see that the commission or the conference, I keep saying the commission, excuse me, the conference gets, Pepsi and Coke is already on some of our campuses. So Perkins is already on some of our food services, cable TV is already on our campus. So if you saying this contract is messed up at the conference level, more than likely that contract funded up from the
schools,
from the campus.
Yeah,
from the school, and it was messed up then. So yeah,
appreciate you, TJ, man. Appreciate the call, Brody.
Man, appreciate you, man.
All right, listen, I just think there needs to be some better oversight. That's all I'm saying. There needs to be some better oversight. Trustees, board of trustees, and financial. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get up out of here, right? Because I don't want to beat a dead horse. I was talking to somebody very prominent alumni member of their school, retired, high figure earner, millionaire pretty much. And he told me, he said, Scotty, he said, I reached out to my alma mater and I told them that, hey, I used to do financial consulting. I've ran for-profit businesses. I would love to come on and just help you with the books. He's like, because, my school gave me the opportunity to do what I do. I want to give back to my school, no charge. I'm retired. I'm good. Nobody returned his phone call. Nobody returned his email. And when I tell you, this is the stuff that kills me, is that you have people that have come into your institution that you have built up and given the opportunity to go do great things in the world, and that they might want to come back and give back to their institution in whatever way, shape, form, or fashion. If it's overseeing something, if it's being a consultant for something, and you just figuring out how to use them in ways that benefit your institution, like, what's wrong with that? What are wrong with those type of things? I'm not saying everyone's going to work out in your benefit, but I do think just as much as you're looking for the next big donation, is that you should be looking for the next bright mind that comes back to your institution to show you how to do certain things or how to run certain programs, or, hey, I was a CIO at this company. I can come back and help you oversee. I can help you overhaul some of your infrastructure, right? Like, tell you where you're weak at, tell you where you're strong at, tell you what kind of servers you need or what kind of Wi-Fi will make it better for your students. Like, those are things that are able to help. To do a feasibility study on your infrastructure or whatever, there's a possibility of so many things. But sometimes there's just too many hands in the cookie jar. Or, as they say, too many chiefs, not enough Indians. But, hey, listen. If there is not a lot of things that we can come together on, I think this is a big one of coming together to figure out how to not get outpriced in the game of athletics. And the presidents with the commissioners need to figure out a way to start working together. Listen, if the MEAC is going to sink, it's going to sink, right? But it's like, hey, if we can figure out a way to come together and get this media contract and make a super conference or do whatever, like, in the military, we have a thing called the sandbox, right? And the sandbox is where you will plot and plan. You will have a makeshift of whatever object that you're trying to attack on, or whatever you're trying to whatever force of action you're trying to use. You go into the sandbox, they build it out, and you walk through the plan. Hey, we're going to go here. We're going to breach this door. We're going to come in. You're going to go through the back. We're going to go through this alley. And you literally go through it all. And I think it's the same thing for the HBCU conferences. I think you need to sandbox this thing and say, okay, what does it look like if we came together? Get somebody in media, get somebody who understands the media contract, get somebody who understands the media landscape and says, hey, what does this look like coming together financially, athletically, right? Have a call with the commissioner who's done pods. Reach out to the SEC commissioner. How has the pod system worked for you all? How does this work? How do you guys do this? Right? I don't think they will be so obliged not to help you because you're not in our bracket. You're not in our tax bracket. I don't mind giving you advice for people that ain't in my tax bracket because you're not, right? You're just trying to do what's best for you. So figuring that out on one way, okay, listen, super conference doesn't work. Okay, how do we keep this together? How do we do this? How should we negotiate these media? All that stuff has to come together. And it has to work in a way that we haven't seen before because the landscape of college athletics is something we've never seen before. So you got to move in a way that we've never seen before as well. That's just my little 2 cents, man. Listen, I appreciate you guys' time, man. Listen, I don't know if I'm going to do another show sometime this week. Is getting kind of redundant for me. But anything pop off, you know I'm here. All right? Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.